All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for Thursday. It is Thursday, July 20th. Hope you have yourself a good start to your Thirsty Thursdays. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Sign up today and follow the top scores each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. And your new leader is Robert Schultz at 722. Madcap at 577, and Scott Ross is at 542. And folks, you can follow all their selections, follow all the top pickers each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. Also, atscalculator.com with the CFL going into week number 7. You can follow the all of the 4 games this weekend, including tonight's game between the Edmonton Eskimos. See, old school. There's old school mistake right there. Edmonton Elks against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and yeah, they're still called the Blue Bombers. And tonight, the game 15.5 is the line. So you go to the ATS calculator, put in the CFL, put in Edmonton against Winnipeg, the Edmonton Elks, and what you want to do is look at the home team. Going to win by 21. Wow. Hey, let's hope let's hope Chris Jones and the Elks can keep it close. Over under at 47.05. And what's that total in that game here tonight? I had it written down earlier. And the total in that game tonight is, I think it's at 44.5. So yeah, so according to the calculator, we do like it to go over the total tonight in Winnipeg. And check it out. Check out the atscalculator.com. We'll talk about that game in just a few minutes, and we'll break down the CFL action for week number 4. And we'll get into baseball. And yeah, so Tuesday's more of a learning, education type show. Thursday, meat and potatoes, right? Get right into it. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time sports handicapping champion based here out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Been doing this since 1996. And you can, this is where I hang my hat each and every day at the website, atsstats.com. And going to release my second book here on the 31st of July. It's called The 24-Hour Rule. And you want to embrace patience and discipline in sports betting and celebrate your victories. I talk about the 24-hour rule, how to celebrate your victories. You know, a lot of things we do as sports bettors, we don't really appreciate those big wins, right? And I talk about that in the book. So if you want to pre-order the book and you want to know more about the book, it's if you go to the website, ATS Stats, look for the logo that says 24-hour rule. And all the content inside the book is right here on the website. And if you want to understand more about the Raymond Report, betting strategies, the art of value betting, power trends, all the good stuff, the daily market value index, which we'll get here in just a few minutes, you can get it in the book. Comes out July 31st, my second book. The first book was Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets. That was written in, 2011, I think? So yeah, about time I wrote another book, eh? I'm going to try to write a book every year. It's just, when you've been doing this for 27 years, you learn a lot of stuff and you want to share your knowledge. And hopefully this book will help you with your endeavors. All right, Jonathan Cardozo, it's been a long time. Hey, welcome back, Jonathan. Glad to have you back in the bullpen. And again, if you're out there on the World Wide Web, you can follow us every Tuesdays and Thursdays until September, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on the YouTube channel. And the good thing is, if you missed the live show, you can check the replay. The replay is always on YouTube or on the website. In fact, if you go to our website, atsstats.com, you see the podcast right here. Click on the podcast, and it's going to give you today's show. So here is today's show, and if you click on it, maybe we'll see our live show right there. Yep, so you get to see the replay right here. And also, if the days we're not on the podcast, I do a 2-minute soundbite each and every day. And what you do is you go to podcast, 2-minute soundbite, or you can get it on the front page. And you can just click on any of these buttons right here. And it's going to give you the soundbite of the day. Or better yet, go to the front page, scroll down to the bottom, and the 3 podcasts. Now, if you're saying today, hey, Ron, where's your sound bites today for July 20th? I don't do sound bites on days I do podcasts. It just defeats the purpose, right? Because I'm gonna talk about all the same things in just a few minutes. So there you have it. Also, the front page, the thumbnails, and you know, the one thing with the evolution of the internet, you got to one thing I kind of like to do is I like to see around the corner what's going on, what's happening, and what's coming ahead. And you see the behavior of a lot of, even myself. Like, I'm probably the best guy to test my behavior on how I do the internet. Anybody who owns a website and you're trying to really design, like I call the caramel secret, you're trying to really build a website that people will be engaged and follow, and you know, not go there and say, man, where do I go? I'm lost. The one thing that we're really big on now, I'm a big visual guy. If I go to a website, I don't want to be confused with 30 items on the web page. I just, you know, I feel that if you go to a website, like, you know, and this is where my thinking, my rationale here is that when you go to the website and you see these thumbnails, you know, something will grab your attention, right? 80% club stats for Major League Baseball today, CFL trends week 7, power ratings. So that's where I'm going with this, and the sound bites are here. So, you know, one of the best advice, and this is probably advice I can share with anybody who has a website or thinking about building a website. The best advice I've been given was given like 20 years ago. And they said, always, when you build your website, always remember that your audience is 12 years old. And not telling that, you know, if you're watching the website, you're 12 years old, but build it so that a 12-year-old can really understand your website, right? So if they go there, they know what to click, and it's not confusing. So I thought that was really good advice. So yeah, so I think the world we live in today with the Instagram and Twitter and you know, all the visual, you know, 140 characters or less. That's the way you really got to think today in business. All right, so got a good show lined up for you. Hey, more pearls from the pearl box right there, and that's where this is where the gray hair kicks in. That's the gray hair kicks in from all this experience, or maybe gray hair from all the stress from building websites. I don't know, but got a good show lined up for you guys here today. But as we always do, before we get to the Major League Baseball, I'm going to get right into Major League right now because we do have the 12 o'clock games. But before we do, we always pay our respects to the horse racing industry. And today, we're going to go to Saratoga. One minute to post time. All right, get him in the gate. Hey, get him in the gate. All right, here we go. Yep, they're off and running today at Saratoga Springs. At the Saratoga, I guess the first one is a staple race because anytime I see like 136,000 and yeah, oh no, it's a stakes race. All right, for some reason I thought it was a staples. Every time I see these big purses, I said, oh yeah, maybe. Oh, hang on, it's Saratoga. All right, let's go to race number 1 today at Saratoga, a maiden special weight race. Look at that, look at a purse, $136,000, 500. Wow, that's a lot of money. At 110 post time today, 7 furlongs on the dirt, and we're going to recommend 4-3-1 today in race number 1 at Saratoga Springs. Sister Maha with Irad Ortiz Jr., who's 34% in the money last 100 races. Sister Maha is 7-2 morning line. The number 3 horse with Irad's brother, Jose Ortiz, is on the 3 Dark Princess. 15-1 morning line on the 3. And your number 3 horse to come in is the 1 horse, Stunningly, with Joel Rosario taking a ride on Stunningly. 4-1 morning line. 4-3-1 today in race number 1 at Saratoga. And you want to bet those horses using the Raymond Report tip sheet. And if you like value, take the number 5 horse, Resolving Credit, with I think it's Flavio Pratt on the number 5 horse, Resolving Credit. 8-1 morning line on the number 5 Revolving Credit. Pratt 27% in the money in the last 100 races. All right, there you have it. That is your free tip sheet today, your free picks. And oh yeah, before we go, if you're going to play an exacta today at Saratoga, 433115 exacta box. And if you're going to play a trifecta, 431531 trifecta box. Always remember to box those horses if you're playing an exacta or trifecta. And today, races 1 to 10 at Saratoga. Absolutely 100% free right here using the Raymond Report tip sheet. And again, if you want to get the horse racing tip sheet, go to horses, free tip sheet in the pull down menu. Go to Saratoga, the free part for July 20th. And we give you all the races 1 to 10, absolutely 100% free, courtesy of the Raymond Report. There you go. Hey, good old sound bites. Hey, I do everything here. I do security. I mop the floors on the way out, and I also do the soundboard. So yeah, there you go. Eh, many hats here. All right, let's get to the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and before we get to that, we got to ring the bell. Let's get to the my Dow Jones Industrial, and you know what? I was thinking about this today because I was looking at the charts before the show, and I talked about this on Tuesday, right? Remember I talked about this on Tuesday? I said, guys, look at the favorites, how they're just winning at a high clip. And you gotta, if you're like, I like favorites, right? I like to bet on favorites. I do bet underdogs, but I bet them more on the money line, on the run line. And thinking of like the stock market, which is basically what the Raymond Report is, the analogy, everything I do, it's compared to like the stock market, because you're investing. You know, you're not betting, you're investing. That's one thing that when you're buying a membership here at ATS Stats, you're not buying gambling, or you're buying investment information. Because at the end of the day, you're an investor. Either you're a beer and pizza investor, or you're a serious investor. Treat your money like, it's not just $10, right? I've gone on those type of shows where people, a lot of the sports bettors, it's just $10, yeah. Well, $10 times a month, times 3 months, times 6 months, that's a lot of beer and pizza money that just got just $10, right? So when you're looking at the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and I talked about this on Tuesday, is that look at all the favorites, how they've won at a high clip starting on July 2nd. And if you look here, now you're saying to yourself, okay, but if you're determine what kind of investor you are. Are you a bullish investor on favorites? Do you wait for your spots on underdogs? If you bet on in the one thing with the SBI is you can see here, favorites win at a high clip, right? 58.2. Normally it's in the 60-61 range on the year. So when you use those type of numbers from a macro, like a bigger pile of numbers, like from volume, you can see that favorites went close to 60%, right? And underdogs win at 41.8% in Major League Baseball. But in baseball, look at the underdogs on the run line, 54.1, which is more balanced, right? But if you're a favorite bettor, always say you got to monitor the day-to-day action, the cycles. We talk about the cycles all the time in sports betting, because what goes up must come down. Always remember that. The favorites can't win forever, but they can't lose forever as well, right? So when you're having a good run in favorites like this is where you got to say to yourself, if you're a favorite bettor, you got to, like you say in French, slack la pédale, right? It means take the foot off the gas. Because if you're going to always bet the favorites, you just can't bet the favorites every day thinking that you're going to win, right? Because look at this, on the yesterday, the was an underdog day. First time, as Norm Peterson would say, for yesterday.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
Yeah, they were wearing milk-bone underwears yesterday because the dogs went 8-7 on yesterday, which is, it's still good. What is it, 53% when you consider 47% of the favorites won. But it's just, you had to know that eventually the underdogs were going to start winning. And if you're looking for indicators when, like you're saying, okay, Ron, yeah, you're showing us the favorites are going to win. When do I start betting underdogs? Well, according to our charts, it would have been on July 16th, right? If you look on the run line, think of the underdog run line. And I preach this every day on the show. Like, guys, pay attention to the puck line. Pay attention to the run line. Pay attention to get that, I call it the Geico insurance, right? Go get that Geico insurance, because you can see the last 4 days right here, 10-5 on the run line, 5-4, 9-6, 10-5. Pretty good, right? So if you're wondering when do you jump off the favorites and you start betting underdogs, is when you've seen that you're overextended, right? The market is so hot. It's like the stock market, right? The Dow Jones has been winning now for what, 7 days in a row. So you're thinking, okay, you know what? There has to be, always remember, there's going to be a pullback somewhere in the market. And it's starting yesterday, right? A little bit of a pullback. So it all depends on your appetite on betting favorites, what it is. And if you're an underdog bettor, you're saying to yourself, okay, man, we're in a bullish market for favorites. It's not a good time to bet underdogs. And if you want to go look at, history is your best teacher. And always go look, scroll down the charts, and you see the days that the underdogs won. We had a good, what was it, in April, May? Was it May? Yeah, I think it was May. Yeah, remember that? In May, the underdogs, how they were winning at a high clip. And I said, wow, you know what? This cycle, if you look at the cycle of underdogs, how they win throughout the year, they go through these cycles, and it's just, you got to know when to jump on and off those cycles, right? So, but if you look at the charts and you look at the favorites, how they win consistent days, you got to give yourself a range of when to jump on those underdogs, right? Because I said at the top of the show, 40% of the underdogs win on the year. So when is that 40% going to kick in for you after 3, 4, 5, 6 days of favorites winning at a high clip, right? So anyway, something to chew on today, eh? Something to chew on, something to make you think, and that's what this job, that's my job every day. I come on here, am I always right? No, absolutely not. Nobody's ever right in sports betting, that's for sure. Hey, if I can be about 56% right all the time, I'll take that. Ask any professional sports bettor or gambler if they're right 56% of the time. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's a winning record, right? So, all right, what API do you use for your data? So cool. I'm leaning onto it. API. Key Kelly, API. I'm not sure what you mean by API. If you're talking about our data feed, well, yeah, ATS stats. That's where we use. All right, so there you have it. That is the sports betting index today. Well, actually, let's take a look at the 7-day average. 61% the last 7 days. We're in a bullish market. Yeah, we're really bullish. But to me right now, pay attention to run line underdogs, right? If you're gonna bet run line underdogs, but we're kind of really in a bullish market for the run line. So I think I might lay off just a bit, because what goes up, here's that 40% I was telling you guys about, right? That 40% of underdogs, I think we probably tapped out here with underdog run line. But it's just, to me, when you look at the history and the pattern of the run line, here's a good run right here. This is a good run, 1, 2, but we had a 3 and 3 day here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you don't see a lot of like 4 or 5 day underdog runs, right? It's all 4, 3. Now here's a good run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good run right there. But that was May. May was a good run for dogs. So yeah, we might be overextended now when it comes to the underdogs. So be careful when you're betting underdogs. And hopefully this was able to help you out here today. And something to think about, right? At the end of the day, what are we after? What are we really after at the end of the day?
I want winners.
There you go. Mike Singletary wants winners. All right, let's get to Major League Baseball, because we are today getting some early games. So let's get right into the meat potatoes, right? Thursdays, meat potato Thursday. I know it's Thirsty Thursdays, but I think I might have to change it to meat potato Thursdays, because we want to get right into it, right? All right, so here we go. Arizona taking on the Atlanta Braves, and let me get up my pitching information. And let me go here. See, this is the beauty of having 2 screens. My brother-in-law got me on 2 screens about 3 years ago. I was one of those guys that focus only on 1 screen. And then my brother-in-law came over one day, and he goes, "Don't you use 2 screens?" And I go, 2 screens? Why would I use 2 screens? He goes, "Dude, you have no idea what you're missing." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." So put in the second stream, and I was like, wow. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Hey, I'm really hard to break into the old habits, right? So I'm stubborn that way. But yeah, so thanks to my brother-in-law Rui, from Portugal. I know there's another Rui from Portugal, but my brother-in-law Phil Rui from Portugal really got me on 2 screens, so that really helped. All right, let me hear. Let's talk about the Zach 10-gallon hat against Spencer Strider. What a pitching matchup we got here today. You got the Atlanta Braves, who are going through a bit of a hiccup. They're on a 4-game losing streak, taking on the D-backs, who are now on a 2-game winning streak. But they were pretty cold coming into that series, right? 4-6 last 10, 3-6-1 to the under. I got this line at -176 today for Atlanta. You can see the bookmakers are trying to pay you a little bit extra. In fact, I got -191 here, but let me see what, yeah. Yeah, 191 is what we're seeing right now at Bookmaker. So you can see the line. It was at 200 earlier this morning. So looking at the percentage play, let me see here. 61.2% favoring Atlanta. Now, who do you like better? Do you like Spencer Strider or Zach 10-gallon hat? The one thing with Zach, let me go look at his record. 11-4 in the year, but what's his road record? Okay, it's I want to see. Anytime I look at these pitchers, I want to see if they're a Jekyll and Hyde pitcher, right? And I think we might have a Jekyll and Hyde situation here. Zach Gallen, at home he's Zach, but on the road he's Zachary. There's Jekyll and Hyde analogy right there. Zach Gallen is 9-0 at home, but Zachary Gallen is 2-4 on the road. To sound like the guy from what's it called, the Big Bang Theory. So 2-4 straight up, 5.1 ERA. Yeah, not a really good ERA for Zachary Gallen on the road, right? It's it makes me think of CFL and all CFL fans. We love Milt Stegall, and when he wears his Milt tie when Milt wears his bow tie, now he's Milton. But when he doesn't wear his bow tie, he's Milt. I love that panel. If you ever get a chance to watch CFL football, the panel, Kate, you got Matt Dunnigan, CFL legend. You got Milt or Milton, and then you got Sanchez doing a great job. Those guys are awesome. A little shout out to the CFL panel. But looking here, Arizona against Atlanta. Boy, Atlanta's on a 4-game losing streak, minus 191. That's a little bit of a high number, but Atlanta's come in here, and Arizona's come in here, done a pretty good job. Hey, Coach, there's Who's Mizzou. How you doing, Network? It's the Network. Been off my parlays last week. Hey, enjoy those wins, Network. Network had a pretty good weekend, so yeah. And that's part of the 24-hour rule. You'll see in the book. All right, let me go to the REM report on this game. And, Atlanta, 4-game losing streak. The D-backs, they came in and they had 16-13. Hey, that's like the Cardinals against the Falcons right there. 16-13. They won by a field goal. What a crazy game. How are you going to win a World Series if you're allowing 16 runs against Atlanta? You gotta tighten up that bullpen. 5-3 yesterday was the final. But the one thing with Atlanta, there's a lot of pride in that team, right? I don't think, and you know what, I can't trust Zachary on the road here today. I'm going to go Atlanta in this one, and I'm going to take the Atlanta Braves, but I'm not laying 191. I can't lay 191 on a team that's on a 4-game losing streak, and I had them listed at 176, so we do have good market value, but maybe for bullpen picks, my beer and pizza money on the bullpen picks, maybe I'll take the Atlanta Braves. All right. Let's go to game number 2, the game that let me down last night. The Philadelphia Phillies lost 5-3 against the Brew Crew. Today you got Corbin Burns up against Taijuan Walker of the Philadelphia Phillies. Now let's go inside the numbers on both these pitchers here today. Corbin Burns, not having a really Cy Young type year, 8-5, 3.73 ERA, which is pretty respectable. Taijuan Walker, though, New York Mets fans are probably saying, hey, do you want to come back? 11-3, a 4.0 ERA. And looking at the Phillies, 6-4 in the last 10. And for the Brew Crew, they're 7-3. Big win last night for Milwaukee. We'll see if Corbin Burns can come here and light it up for the Brewers here today. First pitch, 12:35 Eastern. Last 6 games for the Brewers have gone under the total, and for Philadelphia, the last 2, 52-43 on the year. And looking at the Kogos, that's 69%. The value index, minus 158. And you know what? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Taijuan Walker in this one. I do like Taijuan Walker. He hasn't lost a game since June 1st. Taijuan Walker has not lost a game since June 1st. So give me Philadelphia today on the that's a pretty good line. Philadelphia minus 110. Yes, please. All right, San Francisco taking on the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds winning yesterday, 3-2 was the final. And today you got Andrew Abbott, the lefty, going up against Alex Cobb of San Francisco. 5.02 to 4.6. The over-under landing on 9.68. Looking at Alex Cobb on the year, 6-2, 2.82 ERA. So it could be a low-scoring affair here today at the Great American Ballpark. 4-2 for Andrew Abbott, 2.45 ERA. Now, is this getaway day here for both these clubs? Let me go look at here. And this is one of the features I love about the rain report. So let's go to this game between San Fran and San Francisco. Most likely it's getaway day because you got a 12:35 start. So that's there's your first indication. And then the next game on the rain report, their next game is against Arizona at home. So maybe they're looking forward to getting home here. And San Francisco at Washington. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so Cincinnati is already at home. But San Fran, still on the road. They're at Washington, so they're not going home to home cooking. They're going to stay home and on the road to Washington. But this is getaway day. And is this the rubber match? I thought did San Fran win the first one? Yeah, 11-10. And then last night, 3-2. So 2 one-run games. 2 one-run games. Say that 3 times. Look at road teams this year coming off hey, I sound like Elmer Fudd here trying to say that. 1-1 loss, 115-112. Pretty balanced on road teams this year coming off a 1-run loss. And let me see here. Let's go to Cincinnati off a 1-run win. And Cincinnati 4-4 in a year and 6-game homestand. But look at that on the year. Anytime Cincinnati's coming off a 6-game homestand, they are 0-4 straight up, but 0-4 to the under. I kind of like the under in this one. See, there's the value right there. We're looking for value. Coming off of a 4-game, but look at the league average is 25, 22, and 3. So not really, not really from a team system is good. A league system, not that good. Not that good. But I still like the under. I think both pitchers can give us 5 to 6 innings today. So let's stay under the total. All right. Again, you got any questions? You don't want to ask me something? Just go in the bullpen and just ask me anything you want. And we'll see if we can get you guys some winners. Right, Mike?
I want winners.
All right, speaking of winners, Toronto got to get back on the winning way. Losing again last night, 2-0 to Yu Darvish and the San Diego Padres. Today you got Chris Bassett against Blake Snell. Going to be a tough one here today for the Toronto Blue Jays because you're going up against Blake Snell, the lefty. And if you look at Snell's last few starts, he's been pretty good. Only 1 loss in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 starts. 1 loss in 8 starts. So this is going to be a tough one here today for Chris Bassett and the Toronto Blue Jays. Bassett 9-5, 4.12 ERA. Last start was a win against Arizona. And the one thing with Bassett though, he's only lost, his last game was June 13th. And in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 start. Only 1 loss in 9 starts. So this is going to be a really good pitching matchup today. Maybe the under is where you want to consider. First pitch is at 1:07 Eastern. That's why we're meat and potato Thursday, right? We want to get right into it today. Looking at the San Diego Padres, the value 128. You're getting a discount, so pretty much fair market value if you like San Diego or Toronto. Looking at the forecast, 4.7 for the Padres, 4.31 for the Blue Jays. And you know what? What's the Blue Jays record off 2 home losses in a row? Let me go to the rain report. Let's go to that Toronto game against San Diego. And let's take a look at what the Toronto Blue Jays record at home. And let's see what the record is after 2 home losses in a row. So let me see if I got that. Coming off a 2-run loss. So I got 2-game losing streak. 3-2. So anytime Toronto's at home off a 2-game losing streak, only happened 5 times this year, which is pretty good. And the league average is 89-86, or league record, not average. The league record is 89-86 for home teams. So think about that. Home teams this year, when they're coming off a 2-game losing streak, 89-86. But I wonder what favorites are, underdogs are off a 2-game losing streak, right? So that's another thing. Toronto Blue Jays at home against lefties, 3-5, and the over is 5-3. So, interesting stat right there. The Blue Jays coming off a loss in Game 2 of a series, 4-2, and they're 9-5 in Game 3 of a series at home this year. And home teams are 231 and 200 in the 3rd game of a series. Where else are you gonna get these kind of stats, hey guys? Where else are you gonna get these stats? Oh yeah, the Rain Report. That's where. Check it out. The Rain Report. It's only $4.99 for a weekly membership, and $19.99 for the month and $99 for the year. But a lot of great investment information, right? We're not bettors, we're investors. Always remember that. You're not a bettor, you're an investor. Hey, once you understand the difference between betting and investing, your whole philosophy on sports betting will change 100%. Because if you're a bettor, that means you're a risk taker. And which we are also in investors, right? But you got to think like an investor, eh? Or as my good friend Ross Benjamin would say, think like a bookmaker. But you got to think like an investor and not a bettor. If you think like a bettor, you're just throwing your money away. If you think like an investor, you're going to be more diligent with your money, more patient. And we talk about that in the book too. All right, a little plug for the book. Hey-o.
Dilly dilly.
All right, there we go. All right, Chicago White Sox taking on the New York Mets, the Metropolitans, coming off a 5-1 win yesterday against the Chi Sox. And looking at today, minus 152 is the line. I had the line at minus 184 for New York. And today you got Jose Quintana up against Michael Kopech. In fact, I'm going to look at Quintana's numbers here. Let me go to Jose. Seems like Jose. How old is Jose now? Let me see. 6 throws, 40. Yeah. See, I was gonna say, man, this guy seems like he's been pitching forever. Wasn't he in Pittsburgh at one point? Or yeah, Pittsburgh, Chicago White Sox. In fact, look at his. Where's his history right here? Going back. Let me see here. Going back to 2012. I wonder if there's more. So, yeah, Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs, yeah, LA, San Fran, Pittsburgh, but he made most of his damage with the Chicago White Sox. But, yeah, no, it's Jose Quintana going up against Michael Kopech, who's 3-8. You know, he had that little, Kopech had a little streak going there at the beginning of the year. Didn't he throw a no-hitter as well at the beginning of the season? I thought he threw a no-hitter. Was it him? Let me see here. I thought Kopech, did he? Maybe not. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else. Oh, one hitter. That's right. He threw a one hitter. Yeah, he threw a couple of them. But 6 innings. Yeah, it wasn't 9. All right. I thought there was one game like he really was like lights out and almost like a no hitter. Maybe not. Maybe I'm confusing him with someone else. Let me see here. 8 innings. Yeah. Okay. It was a game against KC. Yeah, he threw a one hitter. 8 innings. Okay. Anyways. Getting to back to Michael Kopech's record on the season. Let me see how he started the year. No, he had that really pretty good run here when he won 3 of 4, starting May 7th to May 24th. Maybe that's what I was referring to. But going here to Michael Kopech, 3-8, 4.47 ERA. According to our numbers here at the Raymond Report, we had the Mets at minus 184. Minus 152 is the line, and we're going to lean with Jose Quintana. I don't see him going a lot of innings. Probably give him a couple of 2-3 innings. And then the bullpen the rest of the way. But we'll see. New York coming in on a 3-game win streak. Chicago on a 2-game losing streak. And Chicago 40-57 on the year. The New York Mets still trying to get to respectability at 45-50 on the season. Kogo today is at 61%. Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total. That is based on the percentage played, the law of average theory that we talk about here each and every day on the Raymond Report. All right, the Detroit Tigers winning yesterday. I think Detroit was one of our top 5 feature plays. Was it yesterday? I know the day before they lost, but I think they might have been our top one yesterday. I'll go check at the end of the show. Anyways, minus 115 is the line. You got Zach Greinke, the old veteran, up against Michael Lorenzen of the Tigers. And looking at Greinke on the season, Zach is 1-9. Wow. 1-9, a 5.4. Well, I shouldn't really say wow. He's playing for Kansas City. 4-6 is the record. 3.75 ERA for Lorenzen. And we do have the Tigers trying to string out another win here today at Kauffman Stadium. 4.4 to 4.3, the over-under, landing on 8.81. So we do like this game to fly over the total. And the Kogo agrees with us at 59%. All right, the free pick of the day yesterday was the over. We had to sweat it a bit. Don't you hate those 7.5 totals? And you got 3-3 going into the 8th inning. Like you're doing the math at every pitcher, right? Okay, if this guy get on base and he can, get him on, get him over, get him in, type thing. And it's like, man, I stayed up late last night. I'm one of those guys, like I'm coaching again, right? So my adrenaline's a little bit higher after practice. So I get home and I'm still wired from practice. And I watched this game last night. Yeah, we had to sweat out the over a bit, but hey, thank you. We'll take it. I was like, where's the offense?
How about our offense? When are we going to put it together?
Yeah, well, they put it together in the later innings, coach, so they got the job done. Today, we do have the George Kirby against Pablo Lopez. Hey, Pablo Lopez, I don't know if he's having a lot of fun right now in Minnesota. 5-5, a 4.24 ERA. George Kirby, 8-8, 3.43 ERA. Looking at Kirby's last couple of starts. So let's take a look at George Kirby's last few starts. So at Tampa Bay, he went 7 innings, 101 pitches. That's a lot of pitches. In fact, I think that was the only start this year where he had 101. Oh, he had another one against Texas. So he's got 2 games where he had over 100 pitches. So, all right, 94 pitches against Houston on July 6th. And then July 15th, he went 5 innings, 87. So, interesting. All right, let's see here. I think this is July 15th. No, okay, second start since the All-Star break. So today we do have the Mariners winning 4.2 to 3.8. The over-under to land on 8.06. So we do like this game to go over the total. Seattle coming in on a 2-game losing streak. This is interesting because Seattle, they're still fighting, right? They're clawing their way to respectability and trying to get into the playoffs. 47-48, while Minnesota 50-47. That's, you know what? Minnesota 3 games above 500. That's a very quiet. It's like under the radar, right? It's like a sniper in the bush, just waiting to pounce. Really, you know what? You gotta give them their props for battling, right? And speaking of battling, let me go check out that division standings. One thing we don't do enough as sports investors, not bettors. Hey, I gotta program my mind to say that. We don't look at the standings enough. Yeah, we look at the over/under standings. We look at but we got to go see who's who in the zoo and how many games behind. So let's go to Minnesota and let's see. In first place, Cleveland. There's Cleveland right behind them at 2.5 games behind. Detroit 6. So Chicago White Sox 10 games behind. Thanks for coming out. So really, it's the Tigers, Guardians, and Minnesota who are pretty much. The Tigers 6 games behind. They got to get on a win streak. Hopefully their strength of schedule can help them. But Minnesota, Cleveland, man, that's going to be a great battle for the Central, right? That's going to be a really good battle. Minnesota 6-4 the last 10. Guardians 5-5. Who do you give the edge to in that division? I think Cleveland's got better pitching, but I think Minnesota's bats are a bit better. But what a great. That's going to be a great division to follow. All right, there's Scott says Padres money line 7-0 versus American League. Question mark. I'll have to check that. Padres 7-0 versus American Leagues. Yeah, it could be. I'll check that out, Scott. Hey, good morning, Scott. Morning, Ron. I need some Tim Hortons coffee today. Sadly, we don't have them in Wyoming. Oh, no Timmy's in Wyoming. Well, you'll have to cross the border to Winnipeg there, Scott, to go get your Timbits and your. I'm a one cream coffee guy, so I know a big thing here. A lot of people they like their double. I'm not a big sugar guy. In my coffee, I like my desserts. As you can tell in the last couple of years. But yeah, I don't like sugar in my coffee. I don't know. I like my coffee strong. I don't want no sweet in my coffee. But good morning, Scott. Thanks again for always playing at bullpen and keep up the great work. But okay, so Scott asked the Toronto game, Padres 7-0 against the American League. So interconference, right? So interconference play, but on the road, or let me check this out here. San Diego interconference play. I got 4-4 here. So I don't know where you're seeing 7-0 against American League East. 3-2. Yeah, so I don't see 7-0. Padres money line 7-0 versus American League. I don't know about that because I'm seeing. You know what? Here's the thing. Let me go to the. Hey Scott, get ready for your elevator music because I'm gonna start searching. Hey, anytime I do the database, I gotta keep you guys entertained. So. Here you go. All right, Major League Baseball. Hey, isn't that the right music for this too, eh? I think it's perfect, right? While Scott says he's getting his ass handed to him there in casino. Yeah, I can't do the flute though. I can't do the flute. Hey, so that part I gotta go. All right, where was I here? San Diego. I got thrown off by the elevator music. All right, San Diego against American League conference opponent. Here comes the flute. It just makes me laugh. Hey, people tuning in right now, people tuning in go, what the hell, what kind of show is this guy running here? It's about laughs. Hey, shirts and giggles, that's what we're about. Conference, American League Conference, there we go. All right, let me see here. Hey, one thing Coach has is a good sense of humor. Hey, you don't have fun in life, you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. Where's my current season? All right, we're current season. I think it's right here. There we go. All right. 14-11 against the American League East. So I don't know where you're getting 7-0. I could use that, says Scott. Yeah, maybe on the road. Away team. Current season. Oh, I got to do American League Conference opponent. All right, this thing's getting on my nerves. I don't mind the beginning. I like this one better. How about this one?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, there we go. American Conference. 4-4. Yeah, I don't know where you. I could use that. No, I don't know where you're getting 7-0. Yeah, I don't know where you're getting that there, Scott. The Padres 7-0 money line versus American League. I don't, unless there's a different stat that you're seeing that I'm not seeing. Let me see here. 7-0. I don't know what you're seeing. 7-0. Is that? Are you talking about? I don't know. American League East. Oh, maybe American League East. Is that maybe what you meant? The American League East. Yeah. If it is, you got to say that, eh? All right. Away team against American League East. Let me see if I got that. Searching. Back to the elevator music. All right, American League East. I thought at verse. There we go. American League East. 3-2. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where you're. I don't know where you're getting your stats there. I don't see that, Scott. Hey, Scott, you got to come back. You just can't leave me hanging like that. Where are you seeing 7-0 versus American League? Hopefully it's not the Raymond Report, because then I got to talk to my programmer and fix that. All right, back to the action. So we talked about Seattle, George Kirby going up against Pablo Lopez today. You know what? I think I got to go back to Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota on the run line. Hey, maybe Minnesota run line. Let me check that out here. Minnesota on the run line. Yeah, I'm gonna 202. A little chalky for that Geico insurance, but I don't know if I want that today. I could use that. All right. So again, let's go next game. Tampa Bay. Holy crap, eh? Holy, where's my Harry Carey? Tampa Bay, Harry.
Holy cow!
What's going on in Tampa Bay on a 4-game losing streak? But you know what? I've been saying this for about 3 weeks now. I said, this team has, I wouldn't say they overachieved at the beginning of the year, because they're a really good baseball team. But every team has to go through a hiccup. And right now, Tampa Bay, this is their hiccup, right? Their speed bump. So we'll see. The one thing, they got a great manager in Kevin Cash. So we'll see if home cooking helps the Cash man today at Tropicana Field. 6:40 is the first pitch. You got Tyler Glass now to stop the bleeding for the Tampa Bay Rays up against Kyle Gibson of the Baltimore Orioles. Now looking at the Orioles, 9-6 on the year, 4.7 ERA, 3-3 for Glass now, 3.78 ERA. Tyler at home this season at Tropicana Field, 1-2, only 1-2. Not a great record. How many starts is that though? I gotta see his starts. 4.26 ERA. Doesn't say his starts though at home. Oh, interesting. All right, let me go up here. Tyler 3-3, 3.7 ERA, and last time he started at home was against the Braves, was a loss. Then he started at home. Next one was Kansas City, no decision. Baltimore, a loss, and then Texas, a win. So, all right, let me check out Kyle Gibson here for the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles off an 8-5 win. That was a come from was it a come from behind win? No, they were always they were in control of that game. It's just that LA mounted a bit of a comeback. But Baltimore, I think they lost 2-3 though to the Dodgers, right? But who doesn't? Who doesn't lose 2-3 to the Dodgers? And Kyle Gibson on the season, again, 9-6, a 4.7 ERA. And Gibson on the road this year, he is 5-3, not bad. A 4.21 ERA. His ERA is better on the road than at home. At home at Camden, he's 5.55 ERA. Bit high. Today, my line value, I had 153 and you're 185, so way overvalued. But you know what? I do like Tampa Bay here to get off the 4-game losing streak. That's not like Tampa Bay, right? But the bad news is you got a very hot Baltimore Orioles team who's 8-2 coming in. I can see a 4-3 type game here today. So if you like Baltimore, Geico Insurance. All right, let's go to the next game here between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. -120 is the line for the Cubbies. Today, Marcus Stroman up against Steven Matz of the St. Louis Cardinals. Yesterday was an 8-3 win for the Cubbies against Washington, while St. Louis last game was against Miami. 6-4 victory. St. Louis coming in hot on a 5-game win streak, while the last 8 games for the Cubs have gone over the total. And you can see here, last 10, 5-5, 9-1 to the over. So a lot of high-scoring games here in Chicago. And what's the wind doing today at Wrigley? So today, first pitch tonight at Wrigley is at, 8:05? And looking at the 2% precipitation, so good, we're going to get this one in. 79%, 79 degrees tonight, game time. And 16 mile an hour left to right. So, all right. So the shouldn't be a factor tonight. But let me see. Stroman 10-6. Let's see how the Stro. Oh wow, Stephen Mott's 0-7 on the year. How's the Stroman been doing lately? You know what? He's been having a good year. He did have 2 back-to-back losses on June 25th to St. Louis, and then July 1st to Cleveland. No decision against Milwaukee. Then he beat up. I wouldn't say he beat up, but they won against Boston. Won 6 innings. The one thing the Stroman will give you, he'll give you 5 to 6 good innings. So you know what? First five Cubbies might be in play here tonight. I think first 5 Cubbies could be the way to go. And your last game of the evening is the Houston Astros against Oakland. You got the Stros, who are 5-5 the last 10. Well, Oakland 2-8. They're coming off a 6-5 win yesterday against Bayo and the Boston Red Sox. That was a big win for Oakland. Oakland, you know what? They started the year very slow, but they're not the same type of team that they were at the beginning of like in April, May, right? They're a little bit better. I wouldn't say they're great better, but yeah, at home, yeah, you got to be careful. But you know, Houston's coming in. They are 5-5 last 10. JP France against Hogan Harris. I believe Harris is a lefty, and yeah, lefty 2-3, a 6.5 ERA. Wow. And how does Houston do on the road against lefties? Let me go look at that. Let me go to the Rain Report. And where is Houston? We have a problem because I can't find Houston. There, first. Come on, Ron. It's the first one on the board here. All right, let's go to Houston. And let me see. Houston against lefties on the road. 7-6. Not a great record. 8-5 to the over. You know what? I kind of like the over here tonight. I kind of like the over. And let me see, but a lot of the numbers pointing to the under here. But nothing really earth-shattering. No league system. So when I look at the when I'm looking at the Rain Report and I'm looking at the side edges, so the first column here is the team, and this column here is the league systems, right? So league systems right here. So road teams against opponent with a 21-30 win percentage, 64-33, 51-43 and 3 to the over. So I kind of like that. See, there's no league system edges on this column here. So anytime you're looking at the Rain Report and you're trying to figure out the check marks, this is why I do the show. It's like a tutorial. Is that the first line here is for the team records, and the second line here that you see here is for the league record, right? So I always put more emphasis on league system trends than team system trends, right? Team system trend is when a certain team is in a certain situation. Like, for instance, when Houston's on the road and their last 2 games have gone under, they're 5-1 in their next game on the road. And the league system is 69-81. So you can see the team system is good. The league system doesn't match it, right? So anytime you're looking for indicators like that, you're looking for the team and the league. And then if you got 2 good indicators, then you do a little check mark and you say, all right, that goes to my confidence level. And the more check marks you got, the more confidence level you have in that play, right? So that's how I work my system. I look for indicators, and once I build up enough indicators, then I build a confidence level of that selection, right? And that's how I roll, baby. That's how I roll. All right, there you have it. I do like Houston here today. I like the over better. I think the over is a little bit better. What's the total? 8.5. You know what? It might be a little higher than that. Let me see. Houston. Yeah, 8.5 minus 113. I think the over is where you want to go in that game here today. All right, there you have it. That is your Major League Baseball Meat Potato Thursday. Hey, you guys like that? Meat Potato Thursday. We get right into it. Hey, you don't have to listen to me babble on for about 50 minutes before I get to the hey. Watch all the like button. See, that's how you get your like buttons up, eh? You just ask them that questions. You guys want me to do the meat potatoes or just talk more about learning on sports betting? Yeah, see, that's how I'll get my likes up. All right, let's go to the Canadian Football League. And you know what? For that, for my Tim Horton friends, I'm going to go to, hey, speaking of Tim Hortons, that's what I had this morning, hey, in my Keurig. This show is sponsored you by Tim Hortons. Hey, there's a good sponsor, right, Scott? Hey, we'll get Tim Hortons. We'll send you some out in Wyoming. Hey, we'll send you a box of Keurig Tim Hortons. That's how you get your Tim Hortons, Scott. You gotta find a Costco and get your Keurig Tim Hortons. That's what we do. All right, let me see here. Let's go to the Canadian Football League. I need, yeah. Where's my Canadian anthem here? All right, CFL. There we go. We're going to the Canadian Football League. I told you guys I'd get a better soundbite, but yeah, that's pretty generic, right? All right, let's go to the game number 1 today between the Edmonton Elks I think I called the Eskimos there prior to the show. But yeah, the Edmonton Elks against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 15.5 is the total. We do have Winnipeg winning tonight. 30-20 is the final. 51.09. Edmonton. Ooh, boy. Where's my Joe Namath? Hey, where's my Joe Namath? Every time you...
Struggling.
Yeah, you're struggling. What, 0-6 on the season? Yeah, that's a double Joe.
Struggling.
Yeah, you get a double Joe for that. Yeah, Edmonton. And you know what, though? The thing with Edmonton is when you look at their games, like, I like the quarterback. I think they're getting in his head a bit. You know, the one thing, and I talked about this on Tuesdays, you got to, anytime your quarterback, like, he's your starter for a reason. You know, if you think that there's a reason why your backup's the backup, and you know in Edmonton who the favorite player is in the stadium, it's always the backup quarterback, right? The backup quarterback, when your home team's losing, the backup quarterback's the most popular player on the team. It's just the way it goes, right? But you got to work with these quarterbacks, and trust me, Cornelius is all right. This guy can play. You just got to be patient, get him, and you don't have Eugene Lewis. You know what I mean? Like, his weapons are gone. You're practically playing with a skeleton offense. Your leading receiver is injured. You gotta, the only thing worse is Calgary's. On offense, Calgary's losing a lot of players. A lot of injuries this year in the CFL. Hey, we here in Ottawa, we lose Mazzoli. Yeah, we a lot of injuries. But looking at Edmonton's game, 13-17, competitive. 22-0. Yeah, not competitive. But 22-0 in the CFL. At the beginning of the year, everybody thought BC was going to be the team, and the defense allowed 22 points. Pretty good. You got to find your moral victory somehow, right? 31-43 against probably the best team in the football league and the Canadian Football League, the Toronto Argonauts. Think of it. You're Edmonton. You're 0-6, but you put 31 points on the top team in the CFL. That's pretty good. It's just now the defense pooped the bed, right? 7-26 in Ottawa. Yeah, that one. I was at that game. The Edmonton. That's when they started Jared Dagey, right? So, just saying. You start your backup. Look at this, right? Against one of the last place teams. Just saying. 12-11 against Edmonton. They should have won that game. They really should have won that game. And then 29-37 against the Tiger Cats. So you know what? Edmonton is competitive. Winnipeg, let's see how they rebound off that meltdown here in Ottawa last weekend, right? Winnipeg had a 16-point lead in the third quarter. They had, with about 4 minutes left, they threw a pick six, and then Ottawa that's it. That's all they needed for life. And, at the end of the day, overtime win, and Winnipeg's like, what just happened? Hey, if I'm Mike O'Shea, I'm like, okay, well, what the hell just happened here? We had a 16-point lead with 4 minutes left in the game, and they're throwing champagne bottles on the stadium field here. What's going on here? So Winnipeg, we'll see how they rebound off that loss. Now against Edmonton, the good news is they're 8-2 in their last 10 head-to-head meetings, 8-2 against the point spread, and looking at the over/under 6-4. You know what? I think the over is where you want to go here. I'm not, obviously, you know me, I don't lay points. Yeah, if you want this game here, if you like the side, I think plus 15.5 is the let me see what bookmaker has right here. Has the latest number. And let me see here. Yeah, 14.5. So the line's gone down. It's down to 14.5. I like Edmonton, but I think the over is also where you might want to consider playing. Let me see the edges. Let me see how our edges are doing here. A lot of edges to the over. Look at that. All right, over there. 23. So when is this Edmonton on the road, coming off a home loss as an underdog since 1996. Again, where are you going to get this kind of information for Canadian? Think of it. Who's got this type of information for CFL football? Anytime you got a CFL football team coming off a home loss as an underdog since 1996, 23-11-1 to the over. Just saying. Pretty good. Home teams the month of July, last 3 years, 17-10-1. Pretty good to the over. Yeah, I kind of like the over here tonight. All right, let's go to game number 2. And Edmonton's got to worry about Zach Collaros. To me, I think he's the best quarterback in the league right now. Zach Collaros, Cincinnati Bearcat. Little shout out to the Bearcat fans out there. Hey, Zach Collaros. All right, Toronto Argonauts taking on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Now, looking at the last game, Toronto has not lost a game all year, and they're coming off a 35-27 Was that on the road? I thought that was on the in Montreal. So they won 35-27 against Montreal. Where Hamilton, they went to Edmonton, they got the victory 37-29. The only bad news is though for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they're on their third quarterback already. Hamilton's on their third quarterback to start the year. In fact, tonight, let me go to my depth charts here. And for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, you're looking at starting Taylor Powell. And then you got Kay Loxley as your backup. So Bo Levi Mitchell, which was your big acquisition during the offseason, hamstring or growing or something he pulled. What are they saying here? They're saying quad. Yeah, so quad muscle. And then you got Matthew Schultz, who got injured. What was it, last game? Against, let me see here. Was it last game you got injured? Matthew Schultz. But now you're on your third string quarterback. So you're facing a really good Toronto Argonauts defense. In fact, let me go to the scoring system here. Let me go back to the here's another good feature if you guys want to check it out, the website. Go to Ron's favorites, go to scoring average, and go to CFL. And here's the Toronto Argonauts ranked number 1 on offense, number 5 on defense. That's for the best team without a but their strength of schedule. Let's not let's not send them to the Grey Cup just yet. Their strength of schedule has been pretty weak, right? They're playing the Beetle. They had one big competitive game that was against BC. So the cream puff schedule, a very what did Hal Mummy used to call breathers? Yeah, Hal Mummy used to call these game breathers. So they got another breather tonight. So you got the number 1 ranked offense against number 5 with a third string quarterback. And then you got a 5 against the worst defense. Yeah, this is Toronto all day. I would love to try to, put lipstick on a pig here, but it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's 27-20. I don't know about that score. What does my calculator say? Let me see what the old calculator says. Toronto. The only good news is, though, is this game in Hamilton. Yeah, so this is Friday night game. You know what? Friday night game, Hamilton, Steeltown, should be a great crowd. Hamilton's got great football fans, so this could be a very, could be an emotional game too, right? Because these are two teams, the the QEW they call it, the QEW series, Toronto and Hamilton. These two teams don't like each other. It's like Montreal, Quebec in the old days, or Ottawa and Toronto now, or Toronto, Montreal in the NHL. But yeah, Toronto, Hamilton, not big. They won't be giving group hugs at the end of the game. Oh, look at that. No way. No, I don't believe that. I got the home team winning by 0.98. Maybe the strength of schedule, 43.7. I don't, I'll have to recheck that later. I'm not buying into this. Now, 43.7. Maybe the total is where you want to go in this one. I think the under, with Hamilton against, 5th ranked defense, but I think they're better than 5th. I think Toronto's defense is better than 5th. I think the under is where you want to go here tonight. I think the under, and you look at the last head-to-head meetings, 3-6-1. There was a tie in there, but Toronto does not do well in the hammer. Look at that, 3-7. Toronto's last 10 trips to the hammer, 3-7 straight up, but 7-3 to the over. I'm still going under. I like the under in this game here today. I won't touch the side. I'll have to do more research. Just because I don't want to, I'm not going to put my investment money on a third string quarterback when Chad Kelly's just lighting it up. Chad Kelly's having a great MVP type season as the starting quarterback for the Argonauts. All right, so I'm going to go with the under. I like the under. All right, speaking of quarterback, man, quarterbacks are taking a pounding this year in the CFL. What, Mason Fine now is your starting quarterback for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and Shea Patterson is your backup. Trevor Harris, it's too bad. The thing with Trevor, good quarterbacks, is staying healthy but that was a bad luck last week with the leg. So now you got Vernon Adams and the BC Lions, and BC, aren't they coming off? Are they coming off? Yeah, they're coming off a bye. So the BC Lions, any team coming off a bye are 3-0 this year straight up. So, Saskatchewan's in tough. They're 5-4 at BC Place, 6-3-1 against the number. And you know what? BC doesn't do well against the Saskatchewan Roughrider. 2-7 and 1 last 10, 3-7 against the point spread. This is not, sometimes history can, funny way of playing itself out, right? But, looking at the BC Lions, let's go to the scoring average. So BC and Saskatchewan, But again, Mason Fine now, third string quarterback against Vernon Adams Jr. in the BC. BC off, they had 12 days to heal and 12 days for the coaching staff to really review the Saskatchewan's last 2 games, break down the film. Number 1 defense in the league in BC. Oh boy, holy cow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. And Saskatchewan lost a heartbreaker last week, right? They had that almost like a Hail Mary type catch. The crowd's going crazy. They thought they won the game. Calgary 3 plays later, go downfield, kick a game-winning field goal, and everybody's like, Winnipeg, what the hell just happened here? This from an emotional and mental point of view for Saskatchewan going to this one, this is gonna be tough. 28-18, yeah, it could be right. I think BC, but I'm not laying 10. I think the under is where you want to go here tonight in the CFL. I think the under is where you want to go. I don't know why we're aligned like this. Look at all the alignment. See how things throw me right off? I like perfect alignment. Why is everything shuffled to the left here? I don't know. I'll have to talk to the programmer about that one. All right, so I do like the see how easy I get thrown off just by misaligning. Now I got my left brain going to the left here, reading all the left information right here. But I like the under here. I think third string quarterback against the number 1 defense in BC could get ugly. All right, this is the game of the week in my books. This is the game, along with Toronto Hamilton, should be a good game too. But I think this is the game of the week. You got Kent State Golden Flashes quarterback Dustin Crum, and the one thing with Dustin Crum, I didn't know he had his. And if you ask any defense coordinator in the CFL, the 2 things they hate the most: 2 verticals on the boundary and a running quarterback. And this guy, he can run. Dustin Crum, he's not a Tracy Ham or a Damon Allen or even a Matt Dunnigan to that extent, but we'll see. But you know what? If you remember that game where he came in against Hamilton, last play of the game, he made that, like a 15-yard run. Then he came a yard short. It was like that Super Bowl where it was Atlanta Falcons, where they came like a yard short of that touchdown. But Dustin Crum, I know all the Kent State Golden Flashes fans are out there going, man, there's our guy doing his things. And I was looking on Twitter, a lot of the Kent State fans were saying, oh, there he is. They know what he's all about. So you know what? I think this is a quarterback we're going to have to really keep our eye out here in Ottawa, because they even got T-shirts done up here in Ottawa. They call it the Crumback, right? Pretty good play on words, because the way they came back against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, so they got the Crumback T-shirts out for sale, which is pretty cool. It's very cool. But the bad news is you're up in Calgary, a place where you haven't really done well the last 10 games. You're 2-8 in the last 10 visits to McMahon Stadium, 3-7 against the point spread, and Calgary, for some reason, they just got Ottawa's number. Look at that, 8-1. Is it 8-1-1? Or there's no tie there, is there? 7-3 straight up against the point spread. Not straight up, ATS. How come we got a 8? How come we're not? Let me go to my database here. I gotta figure this out. What's going on? So let me go to my database. No elevator music for this one though, Scott. Sorry, no elevator music. Let me go CFL. Let me do Calgary against Ottawa. Last 10. Maybe there is a tie in there. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Quality control during the show. Yeah, there is a tie. 31-31. All right, good. I'm glad to see my database is... Hey, the one thing when you're dealing with numbers and databases, you want to be always 100% accurate, obviously, right, when you're in this business. But sometimes when you're dealing with servers and feeds and you're only a 2-man show, you got to do what you got to do with what you got, right? In fact, I got a Vince Lombardi saying here. It says, the measure of who we are is what we do, what we have. And that's exactly the ATS stats. That's the rain report. A little Vince Lombardi quote for a year. I got the Lombardi, bought them at Costco. It's those 3 little plaques. Yeah, that's one of my plaques right there. All right, where's the other? Okay, where was I? Yeah, here we go. The Ottawa game. Yeah, so 8-1-1. Calgary, they got their number. What about the scoring? Let's go here. Ottawa, the one thing, if anybody who knows Ottawa, it's me, because I'm a season ticket holder. I've watched this team since forever. Ottawa's always been built on defense. This, we had our good years with Henry Burris from Calgary, from the Calgary Stampeders. But the Ottawa teams has always been, they pride themselves on really good defenses. And we do have a really good defense in Ottawa. The identity, the one thing about football, when you look at a football team, what's their identity? It's like when I'm coaching and then I'm scouting other teams that we're playing that week, I always look, what's their identity? What are they about? And when you look at Ottawa, they're about their defense. Number ranked 2 defense in the league. That's pretty good. You look at the overall standings, Ottawa's only given up 20.2 points per game. Calgary giving up 24.8. And on offense, Calgary, let me see here. Calgary, where's Calgary? They're number 6, 22 points per game. Yeah, the one thing with Calgary, though, they got to overcome a lot of their injuries. But you know what? A lot of their players have stepped up. And this is going to be from an emotional and mental point of view for Ottawa, how are they going to bounce back after a comeback win, right? The one thing when you against a Winnipeg team who's been one of the top teams the last 5 years in the Canadian Football League, you had an emotional home win. Now you're traveling to Calgary and you're playing against a team that has your number, right? They're 8-1-1 in the last 10. My only concern, obviously, and the bookmaker knows. Look at the bookmaker, and here's where you got to think like a bookmaker, like my good friend says. You see Ottawa beat Winnipeg at home last week. What do you think the line should be, right? What do I got as the line here? My line value. Let me go to my CFL. And the line value, actually, it should be there in the Raymond report. Let me go back here. My line value, plus 6.5. And we're getting what? Pretty much that, 5.5. I had -7 for Calgary. All right? The bookmaker has -5.5. So we're pretty much fair market value. But the thing is, the bookmakers knows that everybody, the one thing with sports bettors, what do? The first thing they do, who did we play last, right? Oh, Ottawa beat Winnipeg. They're going to kill them this week. They're going to kill Calgary. That's how bettors think, gamblers think, right? Where Calgary, they went into Saskatchewan, one of the toughest hostile environments in the Canadian Football League, and really battled out. Like Calgary gave everything they got in that game, and then they came home with a W. That was a really good game for Calgary. I know Saskatchewan fans not too happy with that, but the way Calgary and the way their injuries, and Dave Dickinson, really good CFL head coach, went into Saskatchewan, get that win. Now they're coming back at home. All right, we're back at home cooking. We're 2-3. A win today against Ottawa puts us back at 500. We're Ottawa. If you're head coach Bob Dice, you say, guys, you know what? We made a great comeback, but we can't be living off those comebacks like that. We got to really get ahead of the game here in these games, right? So Ottawa's going to have to, and Crum was only 50% in passing. Everybody's talking about Crum his rushing abilities. His passing ability is still suspect, right? 50% completion rate. So I'm not really sold yet on Ottawa's Crum from a passing perspective, right? I think he's a good rushing quarterback, as I've seen the last couple of games. Let's see if he can stand in the pocket and hit those targets, right? All right, good morning, Ron. The Ottawa Red Blacks could have a quarterback that could have a season just as good as former BC Lions quarterback, now Jacksonville quarterback, Nathan Rourke. Yeah, you know what, Daryl? You're absolutely right. Nathan Rourke lit it up before he got his injury last year. That was too bad when he hurt his foot. But I think that's when BC really, they peaked right there at the injury. And then they couldn't really rebound with their backup. And but we'll see. Like I said, I'm not going to go out and start lining up the ticket tape parade for the Ottawa Red Blacks just yet. But we'll see how they do today. Unfortunately, guys, I'm on Calgary. I like Calgary. I'm an Ottawa guy. It's just I love our defense. It's just I don't trust this offense yet. I just don't trust this Ottawa offense. I know we got a good quarterback who can rush. Let's see if he can sit in the pocket. And if I'm the Calgary Stampeders defense coordinator now, and I know I gotta worry about this running quarterback. Now I gotta put my Mike linebacker and spy him, right? I gotta spy the quarterback. And one thing that remember what Bill Belichick did to Patrick Mahomes there a couple years ago, and really gave the blueprint on how to contain these elusive quarterbacks. Is you only rush three. And you put, in the Canadian Football League, you have 12 players. So you put like 9 in protection, in coverage. So if you only rush 3 and you put 9 in coverage, then you can really contain. You'll give them the short stuff, but you got to really spy the quarterback. So I think the defense, Calgary Stampeder DC probably knows he's got to have to spy Crum. But I kind of like Calgary in this one. What's the money line? 233, a little chalky. I would like maybe the under with Ottawa's defense. So 24-20, that looks like a score, but look at the bookmaker. They're right on it. 44.5. What bookmaker has right here? 44. Yeah, you know what? This is a tight. This line is tight, and sometimes you're really trying to find value in a Canadian football league. There's only 4 games. It's not like the NFL where you get 15 games and you can find value out of 15 games. We only got 4 games to really find value to make money, and unfortunately, I'm not laying 5.5. I like Calgary. I don't know if I'm going to lay 233 to win 100, but I think Calgary wins. What's the calculator? Let me see what the calculator says on this one. Reset. Let's do Ottawa against Calgary. Survey says home team 13. Yeah, see, 49.4. So even the calculator likes Calgary in the over. I think Calgary's the play, but the total is. I wish the total was a little higher so I can go under. It's just I can't play the total. Not with Ottawa's offense. Is there? We got to see more of Dustin Crum, right? Like, because if you look at Ottawa's last couple of games, 31 against 13 against Hamilton, 26 against Edmonton, 15 against Calgary. So they've already played here. Week 2, it was a 26-15 game. That's where I see it going again, right there. Look at the total in that game, 42.5, right? And now it's 44. So take it with a grain of salt, and hopefully we make you some money here this weekend. So Edmonton, Winnipeg, I like the over. Toronto, Hamilton, kind of like the under. I think Toronto wins though, but I'm not laying 8. Saskatchewan, BC. What did I say in that one again? What did I think BC, I think the under, right? Yeah, I like the under. And then Ottawa, Calgary, I like Calgary money line, but I like Calgary. But I'm just not sure. I'm going to wait, see if the line goes down. Then if it goes down to like minus 210 or 200, then maybe the money line. All right, there you go. There's my CFL report for week number 7. And yeah,
baby.
All right, we all know what time it is, right, Alan?
We talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
No, not silly at all, Alan, because we are talking about the 80% Club Stats. The 80% Club Stats brought to you by the Raymond Report. Don't forget, folks, you can get the Raymond Report each and every day right here at atsstats.com. And did you know the New York Mets are 10-1 as a home team coming off a Central Division opponent the last 4 years? That's good for 90.9%. The Mariners 10-2 at home this season. Last 2 years, not this season. The last 2 years, Seattle 10-2 in the 4th game of the series. Last 2 years, that's good for 83.3%. And the over 10-1-1 for the Atlanta Braves as a home team coming off 100 this season. That's good for 83.3%. The 80% Club brought to you by atsstats.com. All right, hey.
Show me the money!
Yeah, let's show you the money today for a Thursday. In fact, let me see if we can. Remember, I told you guys. I remembered my top 5 sports betting options today for July 20th, and let's see what we got in baseball. And we'll do CFL in a minute. We'll do CFL first. So CFL, it's Saskatchewan, Calgary. Your 1-2, and Winnipeg, your 3 punches right there. So Winnipeg, Calgary, Saskatchewan, your top 3 options. And Major League Baseball, yeah, there's Detroit again. Detroit is number 1, 27 days neutral. Again, neutral cycle means 3-4, 4-3 last 7 games. The Cubbies coming in at number 2. They've been neutral 15 days. The Phillies, even though they lost yesterday, they're at number 3. Houston, no problem. We're coming in at number 4. And your New York Mets coming in at number 5. Those are your top 5 sports betting options today, courtesy of the Ram Report. And if you want to get the top sports betting options, go to your dashboard. Once you're in the dashboard, go to top 25 options, and then use the pull down menu to take up the league that you want to handicap. So let me see here. You go right there and go to Major League Baseball, and there you have it. Your top 25 sports betting options, and the ABCs of me, baby. Hey, those are the ABCs of me.
These are the ABCs of me, baby.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Hey, good show today. What'd you guys think? Was it a good show, bad show, fair show? Hey, how about you know what? We got to start. I need more fan engagement, right? I need you guys to, like, on the replay. If you're watching the replay, rate the show 1 to 10. I look at the show and I'm like, man, this information is good stuff, but how come there's never no comments? Hey, how come people have ever any comments? Maybe they think the show sucks. I don't think the show sucks. I think the show is a really good show. I think there's great information, and I try to keep it light for you guys. Hey,
What the hell is that?
yeah, try to get you some good sound bites, but hey, I feel like I'm begging for likes here. But anyways, hope you guys like the show. And the only problem with Ottawa Red Blacks offense, from my observation, is they need more wide receiver weapon. Absolutely, 100%, Daryl. I agree with you. Like quarterback Nathan Rourke had last year, BC Lions, Vernon Adams had this year. And you know what? I've been saying that for a couple of years. You look at the Ottawa Red Blacks receivers, they're all like 5'10", 6'1". We need receivers who are 6'4". Eugene Lewis receivers. You look at all the top teams, they all have receivers, at least some of them are 6'3", 6'4". Like, quarterbacks need targets. And when, you know, Julian Edelman is the exceptions. Wes Welker is, those are the exceptions in you know, Pat Woodcock. Everybody remembers Pat Woodcock here, Ottawa guy, played in the CFL, played in the NFL. Like, those guys are they're rare talents. You know, the 5'10" receivers, you don't see a lot of them, right? You need big receivers. So yeah, you know what, Daryl, 100% agree with you. Ottawa, we need the receivers we got. Some of them are good. It's just that we need big body receivers. That's hey, I say it all the time in football. If you get a 6'3", like I coach high school football, and here in Ottawa, it's called varsity football at in here in Ottawa. This in the CAFA league, they're calling it varsity. It's like 16 to 18 year olds. When you get a 6'3", 6'4" tight end or wide receiver, and they're close to the box, and you got a 5'10" quarterback, that's much easier to see a 6'4" receiver when you got all these defensive linemen in front of you than a 5'10" receiver. It's just the way it is. Hey, we weren't gifted with the 6'4" genes of being the Tom Brady's of the world, right? But anyways, all right, good show today. I'll be back next Tuesday. And again, if you do enjoy the show, hit that like button. If you're new to the show, subscribe to our channel, and hopefully you guys watch the show. And we'll be back here next Tuesday. And was it next week? Maybe next week. I think Gil the Thrill will be on. Gil the Thrill Melendez, either next Thursday or the Thursday after. I think it might be next Thursday because he's coming on starting August 3rd. So Gil the Thrill Melendez will be joining the show for the football season, and looking forward to that. And hopefully you guys have yourself a great weekend. All right, in the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report. Harry Carey.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball. To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Joe own the Chiefs.
Owns.
I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Straight cash, homie.
Holy cow.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here? Woo! If you smell what the rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
Look over there, big red lips, long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me get you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Hey, yeah, won't you look over there? Long black boots and long hair. Say, come here, baby, let me get you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there.